welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a book haul. So yes, book haul again. I think this is the third one I've done this year, possibly the fourth. I've been buying books non-stop this year, and in December I was meant to have a book buying ban after Christmas. Well, that clearly didn't go to plan. So my book buying ban is going to start after my birthday in July, because I was meant to come off it in July, but because I've been buying books non-stop, it's going to be after my birthday that I attempt to go on a book buying ban. Will it happen? Probably not. Anyway, I don't know where to start. So, first one I have is from Connor's Library Corner, and he got me Battle Royale. Now, I don't think I'd put this on my wish list for too long before I had it, and it's quite the chunker. It's 648 pages, so thanks for that, Connor. I've heard it was like the Hunger Games, and so it intrigued me. But I'm pretty sure this was published before the Hunger Games. Yeah, it was published in 1999, so that was way before the Hunger Games. So yeah, I decided to put it on my wish list, and yeah, here it is. Really excited to read it now that I've got it, because if it's anything like the Hunger Games, and this was the inspiration for the Hunger Games, then I know I'm gonna love this, despite it being a big chunker. The next gift I got was from Brooke, from Brooke's Books, and she surprised me the other day, and she got me We Are the Big Girls. Now, if you don't know, I love Tracy Beaker. It's one of my favourite childhood series by one of my favourite childhood authors, and when I first heard that there's going to be like a sequel series as Tracy grown up, I was like, yes, I need this. And I had the first one of this series, and I fell in love with it. It was just so nice, and despite it being a new book, it felt so nostalgic to be back with like Tracy as a grown-up, and I really loved it. And now I've got this one, and I can't wait to read it. I really want to read it right now, but I've got books I need to read. Moving on to books that I bought copies of, not books that I haven't read, because I can't control myself when it comes to having multiple copies of books that I love. So the first one I got is a very vintage looking edition of Flowers in the Attic. I really adore Flowers in the Attic. I think it's a great book. It's one of my favourites. It was one of my mum's favourites. It's the person who actually got me into reading Virginia Andrews, and I really loved the books. And despite what some people might say, I did enjoy the rest of the series, but the first book is definitely the best one, and it could be read as a standalone. And then I was feeling really crap, and so I went and picked myself up the paperback copy of Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, the pretty edition, because the Waterstones edition, despite having sprayed edges, the cover is just bland and boring and like ick. So I've got this edition, which is obviously the hardback cover, but in paperback, because obviously multiple editions are needed. It's not a problem. I then also got a paperback copy of Little Women. My original copy that I have is very old and very battered because it was my grandma's, and so I have a hardback edition, but I wanted a paperback edition, because it's like a comfort read that I want to go back to, and I don't want to keep having to read a hardback. So I got this edition. The cover's quite nice. I don't mind it, but it's like the floppiest edition I've ever owned of Little Women, and so I really love it. And I will always go back to that book. It's pretty much the only classic that I adore. Probably because I haven't really tried many other classics apart from Jane Eyre, which is actually also a very good book. And next I got hardback copies of The Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. I really enjoyed this duology. I read it in May, and I just fell in love. I fell in love with the characters, and when I love a book, I always have to have a hardback copy with it, or that's what I've now decided is one of my goals in life, is to have hardback copies of all the books that I love, because again, can't have too many books or too many copies, can ya? And the next one I got is Shrine of Glass, this beautiful, beautiful collector's edition with a little bookmark inside. It's gorgeous. I've wanted this for ages, and I just decided to pick it up because I was in Waterstones one day, and look at that. And then you've got all this detail, like in the middle of the page and on the side of the page, and oh my god, look at the map. It's just, I love everything about this. And of course, I need every single copy of Throne of Glass that ever exists, because it's like my favourite series, so, you know, it's not a problem. And next I did get myself a collector's edition of Little Women. This is so pretty. It's cloth bound, and it's got these beautiful end papers, and one thing that I absolutely love is illustrated. It's illustrated. I love the illustrations. It suits it so well, and yeah, it's so pretty. And I'm a sucker for pretty books. I'm sorry, I'm shallow. I like pretty books. I will not deny it any longer. Moving on to books that I bought and hadn't read. I got Saga Volume 2. Cannot remember if this one was in a previous book haul or not. And I have now read this. This is the second. It's in a sci-fi graphic novel series, following two people who are in a whose species are in an intergalactic war, and they have a baby. Yeah, that's what I've got to say. I've read it, loved it. And then I picked up Illuminae. If you haven't seen my May wrap up, I raved about this book. It is so good. But this is not a review, this is a book haul. I've read it, loved it. I wanted to pick this up for a while, because I was very interested by the mixed media format, and yeah, I'm so glad I did. We're following Ezra and Cady, who are, their planet gets attacked and then they get rescued, and they're on different ships, and they're still being followed by one of the ships that attacked the planet. And there's AI, which there's so much story with the AI, and it's awesome, so awesome. And yeah, it's really good. I recommend, if you like sci-fi, definitely try it. I'm sure you have, because it's a very well-known book on BookTube, from what I've heard. The next book I picked up is Elantris. I'm meant to be reading this for Whatever You Want Fun, but I've put it down because I chose another book instead. Yeah, I'm terrible. I cannot stick to my TBR, though technically this wasn't on my official TBR game TBR, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, I picked this one up because I've heard a lot of good things about Brandon Sanderson, and one of the booktubers I watch, Elantris is one of my favourite books, so I thought, well, why not pick it up and give it a go. And next, this is a very recent purchase, due to my thoughts and feelings about one of the books I've read this month. I picked up Hero of Ages. I read The Final Empire, finished it. I will not give you my full thoughts, but I may or may not have enjoyed it. And so I picked up this one in anticipation for finishing the second book, which I'm now currently reading, because, again, I cannot keep to my TBR when a book is so good. Oh my god, I bought so many books. And I literally unhauled loads of books recently because I was stressed about how big my TBR was. And I then decided to go buy more. However, these books are more in my genre comfort zone. The others that I've unhauled were not in my comfort zone, so I feel like I won't be stressed. Anyways, one book that I've pre-ordered a while ago was the Empire of Gold paperback copy, because me and Brooke are buddy reading the series and this is the only one we need to read, and I have both the first 2 books in paperback, and I wanted this one in paperback as well. And I wanted to read it physically because I read the first one mostly audio, then the second one mostly paperback, and I really enjoyed reading the second one a lot more than the first, so here it is. And I am meant to be reading this month, but will I do it? We shall see. Right, next I picked up Fool's Errand. Yes, I haven't read the Live Ship Traders series yet, but I know I'm gonna love it. It's Robin Hobb, which I fell in love with the Farseer trilogy, and I fell in love with Fitz, and I'm pretty sure this series follows Fitz, this trilogy follows Fitz. So I want to have all the books, even when I haven't even continued the series yet. The next book I picked up, and I've already put a sticker on top of the stupidly printed sticker on the books. I hate those, so I've got my own custom ones now because, you know, why not? So I've picked up Stardust. I really enjoyed the film when I was younger, but I never had read the book. So I picked up the book, and again, from reading Coraline and watching the film, this might be a book again where I prefer the film over the book. But I'm still very interested in reading it, and I actually really love this colour. This cover is a very beautiful shade of green, and yeah, I like it. I love it. The next book I picked up, and this sticker doesn't fully fit in the sticker bit, which is really, really annoying, is Ready Player One. I picked this up based off of the recommendation when I was watching someone's video. They said they really liked this. So this dude escapes his depressing reality by spending his waking hours jacked into the Oasis, which is kind of like a virtual world, I guess, in a bit like VR. So could be fun. Next, I picked up The Witch's Heart by Genevieve. Oh, I can't pronounce her last name. But I actually bought this before it was out. It came out in May, but I think I was looking on Amazon or something, and it came out like I can't remember, but I think I bought this in April. It was at like the very beginning of May, like 2nd or 3rd or something, and I bought this at the end of April. It's like, oh, I don't think that should have been on the shelf yet, but it's fine. And I was keeping my eye on this because this is a Loki retelling, and I really love Loki. Loki is one of my favourite gods. He's a trickster god, and I love him in the Marvel films as well. And so this is perfect for me, really. So I cannot wait to pick this up. And the next book, the final book, is a book that I got from a subscription that I was with for 3 months. It was like a date night with a book, and they send you a book, some tea, hot chocolate, a little coaster, a bookmark, and it was very cute, very cheap, so very nice if you want to have a little surprise date night with a book. Go for it. If I remember, I will leave the link down below. I think it was called, I don't think it was called A Date Night with a Book, because that's like the general term, but I will try and find out what it was and leave it down in the link below, in the link below, in the description below, in case you guys want to check it out. And I got V. Schwab. I wasn't expecting to see like a popular, like well-known author in that. I thought it'd be more like authors that aren't really known or talked about massively, which my first and third books were, but I ran with them because I wasn't interested in the books themselves. But we got The Dark Vault, and so now I can continue my V. Schwab obsession. And this entails a books about books type of trope, so I'm loving that. So it says, imagine a place where the dead rest on shelves like books. I like that. That has got me. And that, I think, is the last book that I bought in the months of April, May and part of June. I don't know if any of these are in here from March. I cannot remember. Pretty sure I did a book haul in March, so I think all of these would have been from like end of March to beginning of June. And yeah, that is that. Do not come at me for breaking my book buying ban again. I've broken it like loads of times, which you know about, so you know, I know I'm bad. I've got a problem. That's not a problem. It's a hobby. It's a bookworm's second hobby. Or first. Depends on how you think about it. You know what? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you read more than you buy books? Let me know. Because I'm definitely someone who buys more than reads. Clearly shown by this book haul and the book hauls of this year so far. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.